The Circle and Ellipse Router Jig from Infinity Tools makes cutting these basic shapes very easy and very accurate. First, we place the jig over the vertical and horizontal layout lines that mark the center of our workpiece. Position the jig so the lines pass through the screw holes in each corner and it's perfectly centered on your workpiece. If for some reason you can't screw the jig to the underside of the workpiece, you can use this vacuum generator, an accessory also available from Infinity Tools. In most cases, it's easiest to just use small screws and secure the jig to the underside of the workpiece. For cutting regular circles, we use just one pivot point and lock it at the center of the jig with the included set screws. Install the pencil accessory and put its point on your layout mark on the short axis layout line. And lock the bar in the pivot point that rides in a slot running 90 degrees to that layout line. Now move the arm and put the pencil point on your layout mark on the long axis layout line. And then tighten the pivot point that rides in a slot 90 degrees to that layout line. Now move the arm through a full revolution to make sure that it moves freely and that the pivot points remain in their slots. Now adjust the pencil point so it's in contact with the wood, and go ahead and draw the full ellipse to make sure that our layout stays on the board and is positioned as we want it. The jig's base plate is pre-drilled for all the popular routers made today, so find the hole pattern for your router and install the base plate. After installing your bit, you can go ahead and mount the router and base plate to the arm assembly. Now we can use our layout line to adjust the arms so that the bit just touches the outside edge of that layout line. We adjust the pivot points just as we did with the pencil before. With the bit set near the surface, move the router around the ellipse or circle to make sure that the bit follows the layout line. It's a good idea to use a jigsaw to remove most of the waste so that it can't fall down and pinch the bit during the cut. You can cut away the waste very quickly by just staying a 1/4 inch or so away from the layout line. Then start your router and plunge it so that the bit cuts through the full thickness of the wood, and carefully move it in a counterclockwise motion. And if you take your time and let the bit do its work, you come away with a perfectly shaped circle or ellipse. If you've been avoiding these basic shapes in your woodworking because of the complexity of making them, the Infinity Tools Circle and Ellipse Router Jig could be the answer for you.